Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to welcome you to the first episode of Shitz and Giggles with Jack and Friends. Right now, you're looking at a cast of characters unlike any you've ever seen before. We have a combination of old and new. We have what you would hope to find in any good bookstore. A bunch of knuckleheads just walking around, bumping into other people, trying to find a good book to read. Boys and girls, I give you my guy, Angel Ramon. I give you my brother across the pond, all the way in Scotland, way out there in the middle of nowhere, the one and only Douglas K. Fraser. My new friend, who I have hooked up with to do things to promote the book, Reading Between the Spines, Robin Ginther-Venneri. Please help me, I said that right.
You did.
Oh, yes. And this week, to start the brand new show, someone I met at the Tennessee Books and Readers Convention way out there in Knoxville, Tennessee, home of the Tennessee Volunteers. I met this lady, this awesome person. Literally, I looked like a jackass. I walked up while she was in the middle of eating a freaking delicious chicken salad to get a picture, and I went, yeah, I'll get you later. And I walked away. I came back later. She's still sitting at said table. And I said, can I get a picture? And she's like, yes. I'm like, okay, cool. Ladies, boys and girls, Cat Voleur is hanging out with us today. And, hang on, hold on. This right here is why I want to have her on. Because who writes books that look like this? Who does stuff like this? So, Cat, please explain to me what it is that I have been reading for a few days now so that it makes sense. But first off, introduce yourself, Kat. I'm sorry, I'm scatterbrained. I just woke up from an old man nap. I have been totally out of pocket. Help us out here.
Well, my name is Cat Voleur. I wrote Revenge Arc. I write a lot of strange experimental fiction and also B-movie novelizations. It's two very weird things to balance, but that's what I'm all about. I also like to do weird formatting. I did not do, I feel like I always have to disclaimer this at the top of shows. I did not do the formatting for Revenge Arc. That one took a team. I am not there yet.
Dude, this is freaking amazing.
Yeah, it took a whole team of people to do this.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah. This is not just a book, it's a freaking experience.
Yes.
And if I can shout out, if I can like ramble a minute for how great the team is over at Archive of the Odd. I was querying this for a while because I was very intimidated about the formatting. I was not in the formatting field at the time that I released this, so I had no idea how and I didn't know about self-publishing either. I was like really afraid to do it on my own. I was sending it out to agents and presses, and I was getting a lot of like very positive feedback about it. I was getting a lot of full requests. A lot of people were interested. And then no one wanted to format it. Like I was getting rejections for this thing several times a week. Like it was going very poorly. Archive of the Odd picked me up. They specialize in doing like very unique formatting, and at the time they had not done any full-length books. They did a zine, and they were interested in someone to release a serialized like thing for the zine. And I had like run through everybody else, and I was like, I'm gonna send you a thing. It's like 30,000 words, and we can break it up into pieces however small you want. If you're willing to take a look at it, please look at this. And they were like, yeah, like send it over, we'll take a look at it. And then they were like, we would like to, if you're willing, we don't really know what we're doing, but we would like to publish this like all as one piece because we liked it as a story and we don't want to break it up into sections. And they were the best. And I was always the one, I was like, if this is too hard to do, we can do something else. And they're like, this is what we do, let us do it. Like, let us hire artists, let us You know, like, if you want it to look this way, we'll figure it out. And there was just like, they actually made me a lot more ambitious with what could be done with the formatting. They never said no to me. They enabled me for a lot of like really crazy stuff. There's like handwritten pages in the back of this, and they had like we had meetings where they were like, who has the best handwriting? Like, who can write legibly enough to write out all these pages, you know? And like, they were the best to work with. I cannot praise them enough. The book came out gorgeous, and that was not just me. That was like such a team effort.
Dude, this book doesn't just look awesome, it feels awesome. Like,
yes,
the
it
cover,
looks awesome indeed.
it has that velvet feel to it. I mean, everything about it. When I came to your table and we were just talking, we were chit chatting, you know, and I'm looking at books and I'm like, all right, which one do I need to get, you know? And I reached down and I picked it up. I automatically went, oh boy, this one feels nice. And I started flipping through it and I'm like, okay, what the hell have you got here? And I'm like, yeah, this one. I want
Yeah.
this one. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know nothing about it. I'm like, I want this one. But before I let everybody else cut loose, because I promise I'm gonna let everybody else cut loose. But you had many more books on your table, but that one caught me, and that's what I'm hyping. But tell us more about your other stories you've written, because you're not just a one hit wonder. You haven't done just one thing.
No, I have some other stuff going on. I did a convention right after TBR Con also, so I'm low on stock on everything. I don't have everything with me, but I do have a couple. I've got Monomore, which I did all myself. It is also weirdly formatted. It is a single text message conversation. And I did all the text bubbles because that is the level of formatting that I am at when I don't have a team. I also did this is my first my first. This is my second short story collection. It's called Normal Things. And this one's shiny, so it's like really hard
It
to
is
pick up on the
shiny.
camera. But those are all short stories that I've written that have been published, but that the rights have reverted back to me, or the presses have gone out of print, or, you know, that's just kind of a second collection for me. I also do like, not all of my stuff is weird and epistolary. Sometimes I do normal novellas. I'm published through Slashic Horror Press. They do all LGBTQ plus fiction. So, you know, yeah, I think that, oh, and I do, and the weird movie novelizations, of course. Those are harder to talk about. I currently have two released that I can talk about. Puppet Shark and Virus Shark, released in collaboration with SRS Cinema. They do all like super low budget horror movies. I have three more on the horizon that I cannot talk about because I've signed NDAs, but I'm also looking forward to those.
Well, now, I'll tell you what, I'm definitely gonna be checking out the shark ones, because when you start talking low budget horror to me, I am a Sharknado, tarantula, you know, the whole deal fanatic. I love them. I love them. So I'll definitely be eating those up. Now, Robin, let me ask you something. You're just meeting her for the first time, right off the rip, right out the gate. What would be the first question you would want to ask to to an indie author you've never met before, as a reader who might potentially be a fan? What you want to ask her?
What I normally ask is, tell me about your books. Um, just a little bit synopsis about what they are. And then I would pretty much say, I want that one signed. I want this one signed. I want this. Let's do Venmo. Let's get on it now. But that's me. I mean, I love signed copies, and I love the formatting that you're doing. Are you gonna make more like that down the road, since you're starting to get used to it?
So I've got one more final book to show off. This is called Sincerely Departed. It is not a book that I wrote. It is an anthology that I curated in collaboration with Voices from the Mausoleum. And it is, it's just not going to show up well on screen, but it is like semi-epistolary formatted. It's more representative of where I'm at now in my formatting journey. I am really hoping, I'm like trying new stuff all the time. I'm trying to get up to the level that I could be like a one-woman revenge arc team. Because I loved writing a book like that. I've never gotten to write anything like that that was taken that seriously. And I like every couple of months I send new stuff to archive and they're like, we have a backlog. Like we're not open for submissions. Let us like calm down a little bit. So I'm like, they're so sweet over there, but I do want to be able to do like more ambitious formatting by myself. I actually have the next couple written that I hope will one day look like this, and I've been sitting on them for, like 2 years now, just like waiting for my skill level to catch up with my ambition. Revenge Art gave me like illusions of grandeur because it was like I can write stories like this all the time. Um
And then you dive in and go, oh crap.
yeah, and then like as a formatter, it's like, is this what I put my formatters through? Because that was mean. I shouldn't have done that.
I'm so sorry. Don't take it against me. Oh.
I do sometimes apologize to them when I come across something like really crazy that I don't know how to do, and it's like, how did you guys do this? And also, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'm not going to overlook the fact that we've got a Scotsman right here in the midst of all this. So, Doug, do y'all have anything like this?
That
writing this kind of thing over there across the pond?
that kind of blew me away when you showed me earlier, and I seen the pictures when you opened up inside. When it comes to books, there's only so much you can make your book stand out from someone else's and how you do it, whether it be the cover, like the tropes, the stuff you got inside, like certain breaks and pages, some of the stuff you did on yours with the borders, the style of writing. But when you opened that, like the handwriting parts caught my eye. Different way it was like broken up with the different formats you had inside the main book itself was just like I would get that just to go through and read it just because. Yeah, like I've never seen that before. That would stand out like it's crazy. Did you think that yourself, or was it your team came up with that?
This was how I had like pictured it. Okay, the way that I had pictured it in my head was a lot dumber than this, because what I what I had wanted to do, my like peak ambition when because I always go through that stage, where it's like, if I could do anything, what would I do? And I decided that what I wanted to do was print out like web pages and stick them in a manila envelope and like ship them to people. And I was like, that would be the coolest way to receive a book. And then like finding a team that knew how to actually make those images, they were like, we're not going to just like mail envelopes of loose pages to people, but we can do you one better. We can like compile them and make them legible. And so that it was my idea, but they polished it a lot. Like they made it look a lot better than what I had, like sketches and stuff. And the rough draft of this is just a mess, where I have notes to myself that are like, make this look like Twitter, and it's like, but they really did all of the polishing on it, and there were some things we had to collaborate on, right? And there were some things also, like there's a comic page in here. My main character is a comic writer.
Yep. Hang on, I'm looking.
And she initially I had written the script in. Like, I just had the script pages attached, and they were like, we know comic artists. Do you want to commission art for this? Could we attach the real pages? And I was like, well, yeah, that's way better. Like, obviously, I'm not going to say no to that.
Yeah, I've never seen anything myself personally written like this. And I fell in love just by picking it up and starting to thumb through it. I'm like, and I've been reading it. And I'm telling you, it drags you into a different mind space. I've read God knows how many books throughout my life. Okay, I mean, like hundreds, thousands, I don't know. I've never had something that took me on a ride mentally like this one does, because it makes you change like that. You're reading, and it's bam, now your text messages. Now you're and it takes you through these different stages, and you start like in your head, you start following your own universe. Like, okay, I'm gonna set this down for a minute because whoa, like you did something here with this that I ain't ever experienced before, and I'm an old man and I can't help it. But holy crap, this is good.
I really appreciate that. When I didn't know if I would get help with this, when I didn't know like how to do the formatting or who would do the formatting for me, my idea for the story was to make it feel as much as possible like you were learning about something disturbing on the internet. So I wanted it to be, I wanted like that late night feeling of like you read about something on Reddit and then you click a link and you go somewhere else and you're seeing
That's what it is.
screenshots and
That's exactly it. When I look at that, I'm like, this is like a diary on a computer,
Wow.
Yeah.
these little messages and stuff,
I think that was
rabbit hole.
like as scared as I've ever been doing like research for horror novels. It's like it's never the writing of the novel, it's never the reading of someone else's novel. It's always the like trying to figure out what is going on from like firsthand accounts online. And I wanted to bring that to more people who don't spend a lot of time on Reddit, I guess.
Yeah, but which is probably a good thing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
But, oh my God, Angel, have you ever thought about trying to do something this way?
Yeah. I mean, the problem with me is, I'll be honest, I just got too many projects in my head. I'm just producing book after book after book. I mean, for me, it's a little different because I told Robin before the show, I do this full time while taking care of my parents. So for me, I gotta aim for volume. Everybody's looking for something new, here and there. I mean, and for me, the way I see it, the front list sells the back list. If you understand that,
Yeah.
your new stuff sells the old stuff.
Mhm.
But I mean, I would, and when I get time and when things settle down, I would like to do something like that. I absolutely would do something like that. Although for me, the problem is I write not an 80s and 90s horror, so I don't really write not a modern horror. Most of my horror is more like old school horror, 80s. I might make some 80s creature horror.
Yeah, like back when you were an embryo.
Yeah. Well, but hey, I like it. That's what for me, I just love the idea of writing about Puerto Rico back in the 80s because Puerto Rico was so much more different. It was such more rural. It was more country. Than now it's starting to more modernize. But I just like writing stories based on what my father or my grandparents might have gotten to experience.
Now, Kat, have you ever thought about like really dipping way out of your comfort zone as far as like locations to where you'd have to like really do some research into where you are, like getting to know roads and streets and little businesses and history and all that? Have you thought about writing something set somewhere you are completely unfamiliar with?
I have actually I've taken a couple like research trips I don't have a lot of money, so like I can't go that far, but it is something that like when I'm doing when I'm inspiring when a story has been inspired by a location and I know that I'm going to use the real location. Sometimes I have a book called My Apologies to Tanya Grace and it's written more or less about Akron, Ohio, but I didn't want like people on my case about being mean to Akron, Ohio because they're like that here. So it's set in like the fictional town of, like Denton, Ohio. But like that was an area that I felt really familiar writing about. It's where my parents live. It's where I'm recording this from. When I do like even areas that are kind of familiar, if I know that I'm going to be using the real name of the town. So basically, whenever I'm writing about cryptids, I do this because like cryptids, come from specific locations. I like go and I try to live the culture and learn the road names and talk to the people and see, what's going on there. my most recent one, the book's like not even close to being done, but I did like a little research trip to Loveland, Ohio for the Loveland Frogman, which was a ton of fun because they get really into the cryptid down there, which I didn't know before I was down there.
Angel, the
Yes.
frogman thing.
The
Come
frogman.
on, dude.
Yep, the frogs will agree with that.
You have absolutely got to come to the Bigfoot Festival in Townsend next year. It's in May. You've got time. You've got to get there, lady. You've got to get there.
I do.
Bring the blue hair because I swear it looks so good on you. You got to come in, get a table. If we can get it set up, because we've got time, to where your table is right next to me and Richard and Kristen and Bobby, and have us all sit there together. Because I'm telling you, 30,000 plus people roll through that thing every year, and they are willing to spend that money. We need to get you in there.
I need to get there. I've been wanting to go just like as an attendee for the last couple years.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the first season in a while that I don't have any kind of conflict. So,
Sweet.
fingers crossed.
I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, Doug, let me ask you, what are your biggest cryptids you have there out in Scotland?
It's funny. I've actually been looking at this recently. I didn't know there was as many as there is. I thought it was just like the Highland cat, the big cats, the dogs in the woods, Nessie. I thought really that was it. It was my dad had been telling me about how fairies, there's that many fairies and different kinds of fairies and moth people. And I actually started Googling it, and there was like 24, 25 of these different kinds in the different areas all around different parts of Scotland. So we were talking about last week about doing a book about different kinds, like a short story book, and each chapter be about a different type of these fairies. Um, they're labeled fairies, but they're basically like things that live in the woods, like wisps, like you might see in the movie Brave, the little things that float about.
Mhm.
And then like the werewolves here are meant to be like they're not bad. They like if you get stuck in the woods, they'll guide you out and get you food. I didn't know that. I just thought werewolves were like dog soldiers. Like if you've seen that movie, it's kind of like that. But nah, the werewolves up in the Highlands are more like if you get lost or stranded, these things will come out and protect you and guide you out the woods back to the nearest town,
Oh.
which was
Mhm.
kind of cool. So I'm still learning about all this stuff now that I'm back.
Well,
Which is cool.
there you go, Cat. There's something else to work into your totally overloaded brain.
I've just got to get out to Scotland.
Write
That
something
is
about
really
the
interesting
Fae.
though. Because my dad's family is not Scottish, they are Irish, but I have heard but my mom is really interested in folklore. So I heard like when she got together with my dad, she started studying like, the Irish fairies and the surrounding fairies. So that would be interesting to go learn about, and I would love to read the book if you get it
Yeah,
together.
it's like a whole rabbit hole, and you start going down, and you start googling these towns and the stuff that happened in the towns. Like this town that I'm in, when we came here, I didn't realize, and I grew up here. It's where they first started burning witches, and there's so many witch stories in this little village that I was completely unaware of until we moved back here, and my kids started asking about it, and they started looking at all the history stuff. And it's right on your doorstep, and we just don't realize how old stuff is, and all the
Mhm.
stuff that's here for us to look at.
Oh, and
When we're
Robin,
growing up.
while he's on that, sorry about what happened last week. I hope the scorch marks have like cleared up on your legs since. I mean, we didn't know. We thought maybe our bad. Sorry.
Not a problem. Not a problem. It's not like, the Fae, where they're kind of like a little hinky there. I'm not like that. I'm all kind to everybody, every creature, even yours, Jack.
Oh God.
Well, angels is cute because they're frogs.
Yeah, frogs are misunderstood at times. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm totally a wolf creature. Anywho, Cat, what are you working on right now? What's your fresh hot, getting ready to hit the presses?
I getting ready to hit the presses. I guess that would be so I actually was supposed it was supposed to be out at the end of last month, and I was so tired from traveling all over the place. But ready to go, loaded up, is it's like a little novelette, I guess. It's called Mistress. It's about time travel and spiders, and I
hell yeah.
did not like writing it. I'm not a spider person. um but it's part of a series that I'm working on called Covered in Darkness.
Remember that.
Each one is like a standalone little they're tiny. They're like teeny tiny little chapbooks in the like 10 to 20,000 word range, and each one was sponsored by a reader who wanted to help me save like artwork that was going to be deleted. So, and I'm overdue to publish the next one. It's ready to go. I just haven't had the time to.
Well, damn it. Please tell me at least at some point someone gets covered in darkness, just completely covered in spiders, just the whole body just covered up in the damn things. I work with a guy who is, all right, first off, he is a corn-fed big old boy. He's big old boy. Big old corn-fed boy walking around like that right here. This freaking guy is terrified of spiders. I'm talking the teeny tiniest little spider will have this big son bitch just running for his life.
Hey, sometimes we're scared of the craziest of things.
You write me a story with a guy getting covered in spiders. You name him Corey, and I will freaking hug your neck, because I will give him that book myself. I'll buy it and I'll hand it to him and say, read this part.
As like a recovering arachnophobic, I think that's very mean. But as a writer, I'm making a note of it. Like Corey gets covered in spiders.
I mean,
You say recovering? How can you be recovered from spiders? Like they got 8 legs. Like you shouldn't be here.
It's too many.
it's not, man.
I've gotten a lot better. That like when I was a kid, if you had told me that I was going to publish a book about spiders, I would have been like, I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. I simply will not.
Oh, I mean, hey, I can respect that, because Angel and his goofy ass friends are working on another phobia anthology that they got me in, and so my dumbass is actually going with the one about water, and I'm terrified of being submerged in water, and so I'm having to write a story about a guy that keeps getting submerged in water. So
it's crazy, Jack, because I did a story as well for another anthology I got invited to for phobias, and it was about moths.
Yep.
Yes. I'm afraid of moths. I can't stand moths.
Bugs and shit, man. What, you alright? Fucking frogs, bugs, squirrels. What else you got?
Margaritas, beers, cold drinks, you know.
We gotta have the alcohol to get over the fears.
You know, bugs and shit, man. All the beasties.
The way I see it, I put the alcohol because you gotta be a little bit drunk to read these stories, because that's scary. That's the way I see it, at least. You know?
All right, I'm gonna throw a random in there. We got the random coming. Random. All right. What's the most twisted thought you have ever had?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Putting her on the spot.
I don't know. I don't know what the most twisted thought I've ever had is. They come up a lot, you know. But I will say, I was sitting.
Scary.
I mean, I'm a horror writer, you know. Sometimes I see something and I'll be like, could I make that worse? Could I put it on paper? Like, could I sell that? I was sitting with my partner yesterday. Like, we were watching Joe Bob's Last Drive-In.
Good movie.
And they were talking about, Darcy was there, she was hosting, and she mentioned, you know, like, she asked Joe Bob if he'd ever seen a snuff film. And, you know, my partner looks at me and he's like, Darcy, I feel like, has definitely tried to watch a snuff film. And I was like, haven't we all tried to watch a snuff film? And he was like, no, we have not. And I was like, oh, okay, well, never mind. But like,
to make you feel better, you're not alone. I have actually also, you know, watched a snuff film or 2 or 3 or a few.
Angel's watching one right now.
Faces of Death, The Thousand
Faces of
Faces of
Death.
Death or something.
Now, the
Yeah.
Faces of Death movies are absolutely on that list, even though it turns out a lot of those are not real. But
Yeah.
the ones that are, oh my God, the monkey, oh, poor monkey. I'm just saying. I think I just completely derailed the show. Anywho,
Me on the pilot episode of a show talking about snuff films.
Yeah,
That's
right.
okay. We derailed it together.
That's what makes it fun.
I'm telling you, you don't know what you're gonna get here, but like I said, we're just doing this for shits and giggles. So, Kat, let me ask you something. What's been the hardest part of getting your books out there?
Marketing. I am both bad at and like I get distracted from marketing very easily. I'm trying to get better. I'm taking a course. I'm going back to like the fundamentals of like tweaking the sales pages and stuff before I fight with the algorithm and stuff. But um it's hard because like marketing is a different skill set than writing, and it's hard to do both at the same time. Like for a while there was a month in there I had taken my first marketing course and I thought I was doing really well, and I realized I hadn't written anything in like a month because I was like business brained. Balancing those
Right.
two sides is the biggest like hurdle for me. People don't tell you, first of all, that like most of your time spent as a full-time writer is not going to be spent writing. And then they also don't tell you that as you get better at marketing, you really have to carve out the time to write, even if that is
Mm,
what you list as your full-time position. Like it's just,
correct.
it's brutal.
You
Well,
guys are
I'm
marketing?
yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, the guy to talk to is right there, Angel Ramon. Talk to him because he can walk you through how he does it. Because this MFer right here, he is always on it. He has got it going every day, and yet he still knocks out 24, 25, 2600 words a day.
Whatever. Yeah.
And book
This
reviews. You
And
read,
book reviews.
and the book
Yeah.
reviews. So
Yeah, admittedly though, there was a time in 2019 I used to write 4,500 words a day, but I've slowed down with age, so it's a little worrisome that I'm starting to slow down. But it's because my business brain is like Kat was saying, your business brain takes over.
Yeah.
You gotta start thinking about business, and so. But yeah, I guess try to read in your genre or not. Believe me, but readers might, when you read in your own genre and book reviews, they might they love it because that it's because you figure if you read something they might enjoy yours. That's the way I see it, at least. I mean, for me. And you should be reading for pleasure anyway. You should be reading for fun anyway.
exactly. And what is the most recent thing you've been reading, Kat?
I currently am reading Moonflow by Bitter Corella. I had the absolute pleasure of snagging one of like the author copies of that, despite not being the author. So I was like very early on that one, and then I feel bad I haven't had enough time. I'm about halfway through. It is wild. It's gross and beautiful, and
Yeah,
if
wait,
you
it's
can,
gross and beautiful.
it's both gross and beautiful. If you can take a little bit of gore, I highly recommend it because it's such a ride.
I want an example of the grossness. Give me some grossness. Come on, what you got? What you got?
Well, I can't spoil this book. It's like brand new.
Well,
But
no, don't tell a story, but just tell us.
okay.
Tell us a splatter. Tell us something that was just like so and so got their whatever ripped loose and flung against the screen. That kind of thing.
There has been some biting in some very tender, very mushroom transformative places. So I highly recommend Moonflow, you guys. It is it's something. It's not like anything else I've ever read. And I'm attracted to books that make me say that. Like I'm always trying to read something that is going to be like upsetting because I've never read it before, and it's like who thinks of this stuff?
Read mine because I actually had a Bigfoot punch Angel so hard that his head exploded.
That's the way to do it.
Oh damn!
Going on the list.
What about
All right.
movies?
What?
What?
What's the latest horror movie that you watched that you're like, oh, this was the best?
Oh, there you go.
So my movie of the year, this is such a boring like answer because I feel like usually I have very hot take ish like movies of the year. I agree with everybody this year. My movie of the year is Sinners. But my most recent is Toxic Avenger. I loved the Toxic Avenger remake so much. I did canvassing for it as part of like the guerrilla marketing campaign, not knowing if it was going to be any good or not. Uh, and it was
worst movie?
incredible.
What the worst movie or
The
crappiest
worst
one?
of like the year or just
Yeah.
like ever.
Just this month, this year, my life.
This is a hot button issue. I feel like I'm gonna get in some trouble for this one.
Now wait, is it just cheesy? Because I haven't watched Toxic Avenger yet, and I plan on watching it. Is it just cheesy? Why do people have such mixed emotions on it?
No, I think it's hard because you're doing a remake, right? So a lot of people just want the original, and a lot of people also don't know what the hell the original Toxic Avenger was like, so they're coming in, kind of surprised. And like critically, I feel like Toxic Avenger is doing really well. It had like a 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just like the people in my life were like, oh, I think because I recommended everyone go watch Sinners and everyone was really impressed, and then I recommended that everyone I know go watch Toxic Avenger, and they were like, this is not it. This is gross and vulgar, and why would you recommend this to your family? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? But I thought it was great. It's a fun time.
Okay, and that's to me. I don't go to watch movies to learn anything. I don't go watch them to experience like life-changing events. No. I go to be entertained.
Good
If
time.
it's entertaining, man, I'm good. I'm like,
Jack.
yeah.
In the words of the great Jeff Thompson, I'm sure you remember the guy. Rest in peace to Jeff Thompson. He always said, as an entertainer, your job is to entertain. In the words of the great Jeff
entertaining,
Thompson.
and that's all it's about. And so, yeah, I'm still totally going to check out Toxic Avenger. I've got to see it.
I cannot recommend it enough.
Dude,
it's so good.
Sinners I have seen, and that one I can't recommend enough. And I'm not a vampire guy.
That was people were telling me for like, because it was in theaters a long time, and people were telling me, Kat, you've got to go see Sinners, and I was like, I'll get around to it, and they're like, you're gonna love Sinners, and I was like, listen, I believe it's a good movie. There are a lot of vampire movies that critically are very good and I appreciate, and I don't really like them because they're vampire movies. And I really thought Sinners was going to be the same way. And then I became that person. I was like, I went to see it a lot in theater because I was taking everyone I knew like one by one in a hostage situation to see it. I was like, get in the car, we're going to Sinners. It transcends vampire movie, I think. Like, it was very good.
All right. Favorite breakfast food.
Oh no.
Oh, here we go.
I have ramen for breakfast every
What?
day.
What?
Wait. Hold.
Oh, that was unexpected.
All right, which ramen? Chicken, beef, chili,
Pickle.
I have Maruchan noodle in a cup, hot and spicy chicken ramen every day for breakfast. I'm gonna die really young, but that's what I like to have for breakfast.
Your sodium intake is like way big. Like way big.
As an adult, like I have started, I was well into my adult years before I started doing this. But now that I am an adult and acting like one, I do put eggs in there. I put eggs in my ramen, and that makes it a breakfast food. It's fine.
Oh my god. Gen X has got to do better. We've got to do better on helping our kids. What the hell is going on here? I don't know what. Oh my god.
Jack, you gotta get that bacon and sausage.
I was gonna say, she didn't mention bacon.
No, because the meat changes out. Sometimes it's ham, sometimes it's bacon, sometimes I do
Right.
sausage if I'm like in a. It's like a full meal. It's just it is on a base of instant ramen every day.
And yeah,
Ham.
you don't run
Ham.
Angel off. Angel just been like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm done.
He just
He just walks away. Oh my god. Okay. So we're supposed to be talking about your books, but yeah, we are distracted right now. Okay. Here's the thing. You got to eat a more regular, proper breakfast. You know, us Gen Xers, we had the boomers on our asses about it. We're not going to get off y'all about it. Eat the proper breakfast for freaking Pete's sake.
At least I'm eating breakfast. I used to not be a breakfast person until I found out that I could have instant ramen as breakfast. I'm taking steps in the right direction. Maybe.
God. I realize I'm a toothless terror, so ramen and things of that sort are friends of mine because they are soft and easy to eat. But come on, man. All right, let me ask you this then. Who is your favorite horror character?
Character, huh?
Yeah,
Mm.
the main guy, gal, whatever.
I really like I really like Ignatius Parrish from Horns. Um I I think he's very funny. I like it's very dark humor, and it's like as a book, I don't know that I would necessarily call Horns the book a comedy, right? Because it's not. It's sad and romantic, but mostly sad. Uh Ig, though, as a character, I think has just like a very interesting response to things, you know? And the book does have that kind of like black humor layered in, you know, where you're like, I maybe shouldn't be laughing at this, but I am a little bit. And he is a character, like, the more powerful he gets, the more petty he gets, and I like that's the kind of devil influence that I think would go to my head. So
You little Satanist.
I
All
know.
right, I'm gonna say I've never heard of it, so you're gonna have to DM me that link so I can go find it because I want
Okay.
to see it because that sounds like right up my alley. But what are your opinions on Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Okay. The movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and not like just as a concept.
No,
Um
that is the concept of freaking movie.
the movie's
actual movie.
great. Stephen Kyoto's a legend. It's the practical effects in that are timeless, and it's hilarious. It's fun. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you very much, Jenna Motto. Blah. I'm just saying that's outside of here. Never mind. Don't worry about that. That's something separate. Miss
Okay.
5 Minute Jen. Anywho,
Dark apocalypse or zombie apocalypse?
Zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
okay. Who's your favorite zombie writer?
My favorite zombie writer. Um that is it's tough because
Tough.
it it's tough because I have a friend who I know is working on a big zombie project, and she'd be like really mad at me if I were talking about it right now. But she's doing some very interesting, like, I want to say like The Last of Us style zombies that I think are really cool. And she's
Well,
the person that
mutant.
comes to mind, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. So
You prefer fast zombies or slow zombies?
okay, listen. I for a long time I only liked slow zombies because I think the scariness of a zombie movie, at least for me, doesn't come from the like, oh no, I'm in danger. It comes from the like uncanny valley of something that looks human but isn't. I feel like
Right.
slow zombies really encapsulate that in a way that fast zombies do not. That being said, Train to Busan changed my mind. Um Train to Busan like freaked me out, and what All of Us Are Dead like really doubled down on that. I think Korean fast zombies are maybe the scariest kind of zombie.
Hey, the 28 days later, 28 years later, all those freaking zombies. Damn,
Yeah.
me the hell out. I mean,
They're
it's
not
like,
messing around.
cause they're just
Nope.
And they're on your ass, you know. I mean, they're up you. It's like,
Those
here you go, you know.
technically aren't zombies.
Yeah, because they don't die. They're rage virus things.
Well, now,
He's
Doug,
great.
you've been writing zombies for a hot minute now. What have you run into? What have you struggled with anything about your zombies, or you almost changed them to an extreme level as you've written them, or have you managed to maintain, you know, the way you wanted them?
I maintain it, but there is times when I'm writing it when I'm like, you know, I start to second guess it because I mean, they're like bacon. You either love them or you hate them. And you go to conventions or you talk to people about books and say, "Oh, has it got zombies in it? Oh, I don't like zombies," you know. So and then you're like, "Well, yeah, well, there's a lot more to it than just that." But when you're writing it, sometimes you kind of get caught in your own traps where what the zombies can do. So you kind of have to go back on your own rules and change stuff to make the story fit. I've not really had problems yet, but I know other people, other writers, they've told me that, you know, they wish they'd have changed stuff from the start or wish they hadn't done stuff a certain way because zombies is such a well-known thing that people already have these preconceived ideas of what a zombie should be, how it should act. And if in your book it's different, it kind of makes them like, oh, this is shit, throw it away. But other than that, I mean, it's all right. It's what I go to for comfort writing. Other than other stuff like my dinosaurs, my other post-apocalyptic stuff. If I get stuck, I just go back to my zombie stuff, and it's easy.
Can we talk about that real quick about the like convention experience with zombies? None of my zombie books are out yet except for the anthology. And I have never seen people screen for zombies at conventions the way like they don't do that with anything else. Is like they're never like, "Oh, does this have slashers in it? Does this have vampires?" Like that's never a question, but they will unprompted look you in the eye and be like, "Does it have zombies? I hate
Yep.
zombies." And it's like, what is that?
Well, when it comes to zombie books, especially at conventions, like you at a convention, I just do comic cons. I don't do book conventions. I just do comic cons. So it's hard enough selling a physical book as it is at a convention, especially when most people are there for comics or the guests or fantasy stuff. So you have to kind of it's a specific audience that you're capturing. And once they come in at a convention and you give them a book and they read it, or like I have people at my table read a couple chapters. I've had people take my book, stand in line for a celebrity, come back and get the other book. Because you'll find that the people who go to conventions are so like I don't know, just loyal. Like when you guys said marketing earlier, I don't do marketing. I just go to conventions or I just rock up to a pub with some books and fucking slap them down. But I go to conventions and the people I sell at conventions, they have me come back to the convention because people ask because they like it's weird. It's a small minority group, but they're such loyal. It's such a loyal group that they will always come to my table. Like I'll go to a convention, I'll be worried, like, oh fuck, am I going to sell any books? My wife used to make me stress about it. So you have to sell this many books a day, and I'm like, I'm not going for that. I'm going for fun. And then you go in, and when you open, people will come straight to my table to get the next book or I'll get home and they'll have messaged me questions about the book. I've never been in any other environment or any other types of books where I've had that happen other than my zombie books. Which
Dude,
is
and the thing is, I mean, as a guy that loves zombie books, I mean, Nick Clausen, Mark Tufo, Chris Philbrook, David A. Simpson, Douglas K. Fraser, I can just go on and on and on about so many great books like that. And Cat, I would be in favor of you dropping I don't know, like a 10 book, maybe 12 book series of zombies with a cast of characters that were, I don't know, maybe named Doug and Jack and Angel and
Don't tempt me, I'll do it.
You know, having us and then you got this beauty that she's showing right now, right here.
Nice.
Look
There's
there.
your cat.
Ah,
There's your cat. It's a Maine Coon cat, but it's a cat.
Here's my cat.
oh,
I think everybody should do at least one zombie book. Just even if they take their own book and spin it with zombies. Like when I was punting my book to publishers and I
Right.
got one, I got rejection. The guy's like, if this was anything but zombies, I would take it. So I switched them out for Koreans and Russians. And the guy emailed me back and said, "This is brilliant. I'll take it." And
I like
that's the
that.
decision
No.
that made me self-publish. Is that when that happened? And then the best part was the guy that emailed, he sent a request to join the Written Undead, and it was me that approved it. And I was like, oh, isn't that funny? The guy that didn't like zombies now wants to join a Facebook group about zombie books.
I was
Yeah.
I talked about it a little bit about getting to curate the anthology, but one of the big reasons why I was the biggest reason, and I'll just disclaim this now, is because they needed a formatter. Like, it's epistolary stories. They wanted someone who would come in and do like the fancy formatting. But a big reason that was listed was like, it's hard to find people who will sit down and read every single zombie story that is submitted, because people don't want to do it. And it's like, yeah,
Mm.
I believe it. Like, it's a problem, but like, I do love zombie fiction so much. And I actually, the first book that I wrote, it was bad. I can look back and, there may have been other reasons it was rejected, but the number one reason why my first novel was rejected from presses was because it was zombies. And like, looking back, it's like, it was
Mm.
also trash, but like, no one said, hey, Cat, cut this the fuck down, it's too long. Like, they said it was zombies. And it's like, it's sad to hear. I want to release more zombie stuff though. They're fun to work with.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
fun.
Agreed.
Yeah, I got an asshole cat going on here right now. He's
Yeah,
trying to find
Domino.
yeah, he's trying to find it. Well, he found a spot. I think he's good. He's chill. All right. Oh my God. Okay, let me ask you this. First off, when you first set out to get published for the very first time, how damn hard was that?
So it was hard. It was really hard. It was very easy and then it was very hard. I had a book that I had written that I was like very proud of. It was not a zombie story, it was a virus story, and I was like, I want to get serious about publishing. I want to hop into the industry. And I got the book picked up after like a month of querying, and I was like, this is easy. I don't know why everybody complains about this. This is like and then suddenly the country is in lockdown and nobody wants to think
Yeah.
about viruses anymore, and I was like, oh no, what happened? And it was
Yeah.
actually so disheartening. Like, at that point I had 4 or 5 short stories published and like one very trashed book deal, and I was like, I understand why people don't do this. Like, it's really like the setbacks are hard and it's really hard to find your footing. And it's not even that like this book deal fell through, it's that nobody else is going to look at this thing. And I had no
Yeah.
control over lockdown. And like, it turned me away for a while. I had like a false start to my publishing career because that was just so disheartening. And then I went and I did other stuff. But then I was still writing books the whole time. I wrote like 12 novels during that time and was like, I got to get back to it. So it can be really hard. And it's like, even when it's going well, like, there's no guarantee that that success is going to stay. And my second time around was a lot more, I think, indicative of the normal
Right.
publishing experience that people have.
Well,
Yeah.
Robin, you've created a site, or a book or page, whatever, for authors like this to have a place to have a home and whatnot. Do you have any advice for those authors as far as how to use the alternate places to promote?
I think if you push yourself on social media, whatever one that you feel comfortable with. I mean, like, some people like TikTok, some people like Twitter, Facebook, whatever. And then push yourself on there and push others. And when you push other people's books, you go along with it. They'll be like, oh, that's a nice person. Oh, so nice to Angel, I think I'll read Angel's book and Cat's book.
Yeah.
Because they're such nice people. And I or if you talk to on social media and you answer their questions, I think, like, hey, my book's coming out in a couple of days. And hey, what questions do you have? Or, how can I make it better? Or what do you want to see as a, me write anything to, if you have a connection with your readers is the best way. They'll be diehard. They will be diehard.
I want to build off on Robin's point about shoving other people. Yes, you want to do it, but you want to make it genuine. You don't want to just do it just to do it. You want to be genuinely into it. I think that's what helps me because even though I'm a full-time writer, I'm a reader first. I'm a reader first. I mean, I'm grateful to be living with my parents. I take care of them. I'm the caretaker, so so I do that full time. But I read, I kind of enjoy what I read, and and when I promote, I don't ask for nothing in return. I just do it, and then just do it, because I want to, and that helps or not. And building on Robert's point, I think it's just try to choose one platform and just get really good at it. You don't want to stretch yourself out too far into other platforms, because I tried it and it just didn't work for me. I'm a Facebook person, and I'll stick with Facebook for good, because that's my strength. I mean, I have my email list and Patreon, but those are my more premium options. Obviously, you want to get your email list going. That's the big thing, is your email list. Build it up as best you can.
What is that, though?
All right, Doug, what's your experiences with your zombie writing life?
No, I'm still interested in the whole email listing. What does that do? Or you can email me afterwards and fill me in, message me after, because I don't.
Oh no,
I don't do
email
nothing more at
list.
all.
You sign up for somebody's newsletter, and
that's newsletter.
you make it sound personable, not like automatic or anything. Hey, guess what I'm doing this week? I spilled coffee on my manuscript, and and they're like, oh man, and they'll email you back saying, oh, I'm sorry, you're having a bad day or whatever, and it just, like I said, builds connection, makes you into an average person.
Correct. And because some people don't like social media, some people are not. They're not into social media. They have social media, but they don't use it enough, so they rely on the email newsletters so they can connect.
Right.
Well, just so I can go ahead and just totally disperse all that. Those email groups and whatnot, which I'm a part of many of, they don't make you a regular person. They make you a celebrity, by the way, because when I met the people that I met at the Tennessee Books and Readers Convention, I felt like, like this big. Like, oh my God, so-and-so is here. Like when I met Edmund Stone, and then when I met our guest here today, and realized, oh my God, she's a full-on writer. Look at all the books in front of me. I lost my mind. Now, here's my thing. Cat, who have you got to meet in person that absolutely just made your knees quiver? Like you just, oh my God, it can't be them. Who have you met?
So there have been a couple really big name celebrities that I've had the privilege of going out and meeting. Even before I was a writer, I used to be a very avid participant in book conventions, because I would just go meet people. I got to meet Joe Hill and R.L. Stine, and but the one that really broke me, right? I and I was actually just telling the story on a podcast the other day, because we were talking about his movie. I got to meet. I was at my first ever book convention where I was vending, right? I was selling copies of Revenge Arc. It was the only book I had out. I was so nervous. I was so starstruck by everybody there. They had me sitting around the corner on one side was Grady Hendrix, and across from him was Paul Tremblay. And I was like, I've gotta leave. I can't be here. I can't do this. I can't and they're two of the sweetest people that you'll ever meet in person, but it was it was so scary, because it's I'm trying to learn how to sell books for the first time, and two of the the biggest names are sitting around the corner from me, and it's oh my God, that one really, I've never felt that starstruck as
I drove 6 hours to see Laurel K. Hamilton and got to go up and get my picture taken. And I was shaking and I was like, I said, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to fangirl. That I was so embarrassed. And she was kind and everything, but I'm like, what was I thinking?
Doug,
I also
Doug, when's the last time you were absolutely just starstruck?
You know, it happens every convention. Like 2 weekends ago, I was in Ireland, and I don't know if it's because they're so small here. Like they put me next to Christopher Lloyd's table in his train.
Wow.
Like
So the
the
whole time I'm just
Wow.
and I'm like,
Yes.
this guy's like 80 something and he's jumping about like he's like 45. It was it
Wow.
blew me away. Like it throws you for a loop. But they probably book wise, Nick Frost. You know, he's in Shaun of the Dead. He's across from me. I can see him, he can see me, and he's got no one at his table. And there's these other tables next to him have all these Vampire Diaries. I don't know what the fuck this Vampire Diary stuff is. These little girls obsessed with this shit. This line goes out the fucking thing out the building, right? And I'm like, what, is this fucking Twilight? Wasn't it? It's the Vampire Diaries. All I know is vampires are vampires. It doesn't matter to me. But I see Nick Frost and I'm like, dude, why is he on his table? So my baby just been born at the time, and then I go over and it's his wife. She's like, "Can I hold your baby?" I'm like, "Of course you can." So I'm humping and I was like, "Hey, can I get your autograph?" And he's like, "Would you write?" And we start talking. I signed a book for him, and he's like, "Here's what we'll do. We'll do a little video clip. You've probably seen it. I post all over Facebook." And we did a little thing where he's getting his book signed from me, like he's a fan. And it was just like I was nervous the whole time. I was shaking as I was trying to write. My wife's standing there. I'm stuttering. It was so bad. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like you said, like you think you're cool, and then in the moment you're not, and you just it goes to shit. And you're like, oh fuck, and you just panic. You're really the coolest person, but when you get put on the spot with somebody famous or someone you think is famous or you look up to, yeah, it's a whole different ballgame, mate.
I agree.
All right, Kat, let me ask you, what is the most terrifying moment you have had in your writing career?
Oh, I mean, conventions, I'm getting better at them, but like the first few were really scary, you know, because it's like, especially I kind of have social anxiety anyway, and I kind of have travel anxiety, and my first one that I did. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I had ordered, you know, like hundreds of dollars worth of books because Revenge Arc is stupid expensive to print, being in full color. And I was like, I'm on my way to this convention that I had been kind of peer pressured into, and I got so sick on the ride out, and I was like, I'm having a panic attack. Like this is what a panic attack feels like. And it turns out, because I had like just recovered from like a really nasty flu. I was getting motion sick driving myself.
Oh, damn.
And it was not like, but I like in that moment I had like pulled the car over on like the side of the interstate, you know, and I'm like puking my guts out, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like this is what a panic attack feels like. I'm gonna die. This convention is gonna eat me alive, you know? And then but I still kind of have that sensation like whenever I'm getting ready for a con, and it's never been as bad. I've never, you know, like thrown up everywhere a second time, but it has been like, man, this is scary. Like I'm gonna go do this, and maybe I don't make any money, and maybe I really embarrass myself in front of all these big celebrities that are gonna be there, um and that never gets less scary, I think.
You know,
I get imposter syndrome
here-
every time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff.
okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna put this out there right now because I got to meet you in person. I got to meet Jay Bauer in person. I got to meet a whole lot of cool Edmund Stone. I mean, I got to meet a lot of really cool people at the friggin'
I know some of those names.
y'all need to not worry about feeling famous because you are. Like it's just done. It is what it is. Because I found myself, I walked around bringing up Edmund. I'm standing looking at one table. Marie Lestrange is just down from me, all decorated up, looking all crazy.
Gorgeous.
Yes. And so I'm standing there, and then I turn around, and the table behind me, here sits Edmund fucking Stone, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's been on my show before, and I freeze because it's him. I'm like, wait a minute, yeah, that's the guy. And I'm literally looking over my own shoulder at nobody. Like, yeah, that's him. He's right there. And then I turn around, I go, Edmund, it's me, Jack. And this motherfucker jumps up from his table, runs around it, and hugs the shit out of me. And I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. So, no, first off, Miss Cat, do not lose that. Because it's there. It's a thing. Because I've enjoyed this, and I think it's why I'm so happy to be back to doing this again and adding you to the list. Is yes, we are a community. Yes, we are a group of people, all with ideas, all with weird stories, and we're going to tell them. And holy crap, when we get to actually meet each other, it is a thing. It's a big deal. It matters. Who have you not met yet that you want to meet so bad?
Ooh, that is so. The answer to this is going to be kind of a weird. It's like you're saying, like our celebrities become kind of part of the community. I talk to her online a lot. At TBR Con actually. Christy Aldridge was supposed to be there.
Oh,
And she wrote one of the like most disturbing books I've ever read in my entire life, and I don't say that lightly, and I don't say it often. And I was like, she sent me a signed copy because I was one of the ARC readers, but I was like, I'm gonna get a second copy so I can have it signed in person. Like I'm gonna get some of her other stuff. I'm so excited to meet her. And she ended up not being able to make it, and it's like, dang it. But anyone who can like, upset me in a book, I definitely, they're like instant celebrity to me.
All right, so I'm taking it that my next question would be answered pretty easily. If you could write a book with anybody, living or dead, who would it be?
I would like to write a book with Vincent Vinacava.
Ooh, wow. Okay, you just went totally off my damn radar.
I first of all, this is a really dumb reason to want to write a book with someone. It comes from like I looked up to him a lot when I was like starting for the first time. Because I was not reading conventional horror books. I was reading like internet creepy stuff that was like all very indie underground stuff. So I was like a huge fan of his. But also and as an adult, I think our names would look really good on like a book cover together. I believe that. I met him briefly last year at AuthorCon, and he's just like so sweet. It was very funny. I was telling my partner, I was like, "Hey, that guy walking around looks like Vincent Vinacava," and he's like, "Why would you know what that person looks like?" And then like he came up to my table and he's like, looking at my books and stuff, and I was like, trying to not be weird because I had just been pointing out how much he looks like the celebrity, and then he's like, "Would you be interested in doing a book trade?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he hands me the book, and sure enough, like on the cover, it's got his name on it, and it's like, oh my god,
Wow.
that's insane. That's just
Okay. So are you not pestering him on a regular basis? Like, hey, we can do something. Let's go.
No, I should be though. I'm trying to clear the docket a little bit. I'm trying and not, stalk him. But he's like, I also think our writing styles like are we have a lot of this might be a disaster. We have a lot of the same strengths and weaknesses, I think. So the book might end up being like 500,000 words because we both are like very verbose people, but I think it could be good.
Hey, as an audiobook fan, if y'all get a good narrator, I'm down. Cause dude, I'm all about a 2,600, 26-hour word book. I'm all about it. Let's just go. Let's do it. Make it happen. I mean, hot damn.
Great.
Angel,
Yes, sir.
You're out there every day dropping your word counts. You're putting it out there for the people. You're letting everybody know exactly what you've done today, like it's a cycle, and we appreciate it. My question now goes back to Miss Cat. Do you keep up with your word count?
Mm.
No, I write my books longhand, so I keep up with like my page count, but a page, depending on what journal I'm writing in, can be anywhere from, like 20 words, like I think the biggest journal I have, it's like a 500 word page, so it doesn't really mean anything. And I think it's why I don't update more on like word count. If I'm doing a writing challenge, I will actually dictate whatever I've written into like a program, so I have a word count to share with people. But that's not my normal process. That's like my challenge process.
All right, Angel, get on her about that. We need more updates. We need to know what he's doing, because this guy, man, he keeps you updated. And Doug,
I
you
actually
need to start doing a better
started
job.
doing my word counts because of Angel. I'd see his every day, and I'm like, that guy's fucking. He's getting through it, and he's got other stuff around his life. Like he does a million things, and I see his word count. And I'm like, fuck me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to set goals somehow, or so many words in a week, so many pages. Like I have to set a goal because I seen what he was doing. I was like, he's got like a family, he's got all this other shit going on, like, and he's managing to pump all this out quality work. I was like, so I started looking at Angel's word counts, and I was like, I need to somehow, if I can hit his daily word count, if I can do that in a week.
Now, granted, most of his word count is Jack is awesome, and I love Jack, and it's the greatest person ever,
Right. That
and,
helps.
Go
That
Red,
does help.
go Titans. And he deletes most of it. It happens, but what?
I think the thing about it keeps me disciplined, because I'm gonna be honest. You'll be surprised how useless and worthless I become when I don't discipline myself. You'd be surprised how worthless I become in a week or so when I don't do anything. Yeah.
Dude, what you do is impressive. It's freaking impressive. Putting out what you do, and the quality of what you're putting out. That's what's most amazing. Is sometimes people worry about with writers that if you're just turning out words, they're just words, and then you read it and it's like, what am I reading? This is crap. This is garbage. And yet you still put out great fucking writing, which is something hard to do. So, Kat, how is it that you're able to sit and I'm gonna keep going back to this freaking, into my fucking life. How is it that you writers keep putting out stuff knowing that you're not going to just sit and go, blah, 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 boom, word, and you've got a book. It's like you got to go through so much shit to make a book. Because me, I've got a novella and 2 short stories, and I'm tired. Okay? I'm tired. I've got that. And yet you've got more than me right here, and you put so much time into it. How the fuck do y'all do that?
I always feel like a little bit of a fraud because I genuinely believe that the Archive of the Odd team put more time into Revenge Arc than I did. This was a 24-hour novel writing challenge. So I wrote 50,000 words in 24 hours, split up into 2 writing sessions, 12 Saturday, 12 Sunday, and Revenge Arc is pretty much what was left when I trimmed all of the fat. Like,
what the fuck?
So I do always feel a little bit fraudulent because it's like, the one that everyone is like, oh my God, this must have taken so long. It's like, it took a long time. It took like, what, 7 people working like around the clock to make Revenge Arc happen, and none of them were me. Like I
freaking love this. Are you kidding me? What the fuck?
The rough draft. The rough draft was like almost. It was like 18,000 words longer. because I'm an overwriter. So I was just like, I'm spilling it all out there. Everything gets on paper for this challenge to hit my 50K. And then like in the month following that, I cut it down and like edited it and put it in an order where it made more sense. And yeah, that was I think I spent more time like formatting it because I did, like I said, I had all those little notes to myself and I had to like go clean those up. So like at the beginning of every chapter, it would be like, you know, this is supposed to be laid out like this in like big brackets at the top of the section. And then yeah, that was so that one not and actually my second book, Desert Island Game, was also for the 24-hour novel writing challenge. I was making jokes that I can only put out good books if I write them in 24 hours. That hasn't been my process for most of them, but it is very funny that like my first 2 published ones were like I did not spend any time on this. I just went for it.
I
Did
swear
you
though,
ever
you and Angel are very close in that. Like this fucker is like, hey, I just dropped 2,500 words a day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go drive around now.
yeah. I'm gonna be an adult. No, I got an adult now, man. Like shit. Like, but I mean, the way I see it, I live my life like that. Like you work and then you just have to adult. You just take the punches as they come.
Drop the words, put the words down.
And by the way, Jack, you were talking about how hard it is to write, and you're not wrong, Jack. It is. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Granted, sometimes with some of the words I write is Vanderbilt is going to be Alabama, so you know, so granted some of the words I write are trolls, but they're still words. So
I'm going to poke you in the eye.
I had to take a shot there.
In the eye, roll tide.
Cat, have you ever looked back on your notes and something you wrote maybe like 3 a.m. in the morning, and then you look at it the next morning and you're like, what does this mean?
Yeah, like, well, what is this?
I'm very much one of those people that like I'll wake I have some sleep disorders. I have a really tough time getting to sleep and staying asleep, and I very much am that like classic writer stereotype where I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, "Oh, this is genius," and I'm writing it down, and then like I'm looking at it the next morning and I'm like, "Skeleton barn, huh?" Like I don't know what that means. I was like, but I fell asleep thinking it was going to be like a groundbreaking bestseller, and then it's like, and yeah, like the last 100 pages or so of like the that's another thing about me is like the closer I get to like passing out, the bigger my handwriting gets, and you can see in Revenge Arc where it's like the starting out sections are like pretty legible, and then by the end it's like I'm getting 5 words a page and all of them are bad. It's like but yeah, some of the end it was like I was going to type out the book and it's like I don't even know what some of this says, and like parts of it don't make sense, and you know.
All right, so
yeah, very much.
What would you say to your readers if you're trying to get new readers in, trying to get new people in, going, hey, I have stumbled and bumbled my way through all this, but trust me, if you read this, you're gonna be like fucking wow. Where would you tell people to start?
I would tell people to start with Revenge Arc. Like there's not a lot out there that is formatted the way that Revenge Arc is formatted. And the artists were all exceptional, the formatters were all exceptional, the editors did a great job making it more coherent. It's a very good example of what can be done if you have a team of people who believe in something that's objectively a little bit ridiculous, you know.
All right. So what would be your second pick?
My second pick, and I do kind of try to recommend these two together because I know that a lot of people, I've been talking this whole episode about how much I love the formatting and the team and stuff. It is overwhelming for some readers. Like there are some people who see this and are like, this is too much, and I'm like anxious and confused, and they they walk away scared. I think if that's you, I think if you don't like the epistolary formatting or like the different formats or whatever, I would recommend Desert Island Game. It is out through Slashic Horror Press. It is, I don't want to say traditional in any kind of the word, because it's, the story is very weird, but it's all normal prose. Like it is written like a book would be written. I don't do that very often. So yeah, I would recommend that one.
Nice.
All
I mean, when you look around the room, let's see, we got Doug down here who's got zombies just eating people. We got Angel who's gone historical fiction. He's got frogs and margaritas. He's got rats eating people, and he even used me in the story. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, man.
All this wild stuff going on. Are there any tropes that you avoid?
There is a single trope that I avoid. One. Just one. For the most part, I love tropes. I think if you hate tropes, you hate fun, or you're not doing the tropes right. I believe that
Right.
for the most part.
Right.
I personally do not write like the there's like the save the cat trope. I don't write the kill the cat trope. I think if that's like the only way that you can show that a character is evil, it feels overplayed to me. I've seen it done well a single time, and I just like, that one's not for me. I don't think I'm gonna do it better than I've seen it.
I thought the trope was don't kill the dog.
You don't kill the dog.
You kill the cat instead.
You kill the cat.
Thank you for being a pro cat person. She just
Yeah.
proved it right there. She's a pro cat person. She's all about the cat. The cat will always live. Damn the dog.
Yeah.
Ow.
Said kill the cat.
I don't think I've ever, I don't know that I would want to kill a dog either, but I
No.
do feel sometimes like, because there is the rule where it's like you don't kill the dog, that like a lot of people will be like, oh well, look how extreme this book is, we killed the cat. And it's like, I don't, and even in like classic horror, even Edgar Allan Poe was mean to cats. Stephen King is always killing cats or making cats evil or whatever, and it's like,
Hell, Mark Tufo thinks cats are evil. That bastard. And I'm gonna have him on the show again, and I'm gonna get on his ass again about that.
case.
By the way,
that one's not for me.
In fact, hell,
so.
Cat, I think I might want to have you as a co-host for that one when I have Mark Tufo on, so we can give him shit about killing cats.
I'd be in on that. And it's like I said, like I do a lot of ARC reading, for people, and I do a lot of blurbs and stuff, and they always ask me if I need, content warnings or trigger warnings or whatever, and I'm always like, no. And then like, but God forbid that I ever complain about a cat dying, and then they're like, well, you should have asked for trigger warnings. And it's like, well, I wasn't gonna not read it because the cat died. It's just I'm gonna complain about it a little bit because I think it's overdone. Like, I don't know. Which has happened to me multiple times where I've had publishers reach out and be like, please read our content warnings. And it's like, no, I want to be surprised. I appreciate you putting the content warnings on there because I know that some people do need them, but I want to go in blind. So I'm just not gonna do it. Like,
all right, Robin, what are your feelings on trigger warnings?
I think they're very important. They need to be put somewhere for the reader's mental health. And I know, like with horror, you're gonna have like, body this and blood and murder and rape and all that, and that's fine. And you're going in thinking, okay, this is a horror book, but at some point, on their website or at the back of the book, or check your triggers. That's all it needs to be. Like DW hits. He's like, I hit them all. I'm not going to list them all. I hit them all. So I think it should be there, but I don't want to ruin the author the readers and the authors, cohesiveness. But yeah, I don't want anybody to read a book and have a mental breakdown because the cat was killed.
Yeah, it's tough. And it's like I do sometimes feel like publishers don't trust me to know where my boundaries are. Like when they reach out to me specifically, obviously having the list is so that I can, protect myself if I need to. But yeah, the one time that I complained about the dead cat, they were like, if you had just read the trigger warning, it's like, okay, but I didn't want to do that. And I wasn't like triggered by the dead cat. I just, it was not for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree. I just, something like check your triggers, or,
Yeah.
an author that says they're all in there, that's fine. I'm not one to read the back of the book or the triggers, but I just worry that, something with the reader might send them off the edge,
Well, gonna go on to the darker side. What is your favorite 80s cartoon series?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite 80s cartoon series?
Oh yeah, we're talking Transformers, G.I. Joe, the Thundercats.
So, yikes. This one's gonna be tough. I'm a 90s cartoon girly.
Yeah, same here.
It's a real monster. And it's from the 90s. And Courage, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Like
Well, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. All right, go ahead.
That that was my I didn't have much of a cartoon phase like as a kid. So those are the I have like a small window that I'm very nostalgic for. And then I jumped pretty much right into horror movies. So they started me young.
All right, so what was your first horror movie?
My first horror movie, and I always like to caveat this just a little bit because like I grew up, my mom really liked like the Universal monster movies and the Vincent Price movies. Those were always kind of like on in the background in my house growing up. I have no idea which one of those was first. The first time that I was like aware that I was watching something that was scary that I maybe wasn't supposed to be watching was when the Sci-Fi Channel decided that they were going to run Cube. Uh so yeah, my first horror movie was Cube.
Oh, and I still haven't seen that one.
It's so good. And that was the turning point for me also. I was too young, arguably, to have been watching it, but I did, and I was like, I'm never watching anything that isn't scary like this. Like, I want this.
My first one was Friday the 13th. I shouldn't have been
Ooh.
watching that woman go around the camp
Yes.
killing Kevin Bacon. I shouldn't have seen none of that, but yet there I was, We have all been introduced to horror in our own ways. And let's face it, we're the better for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it's made us better people
Yeah.
because it's made us stronger people. We've gotten hardened to things.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing, being someone who is still to this day saying, I'm not a fucking writer. I'm not. But getting to hang out with you writer types, getting to talk to you, getting to dig into your brains and figure out, where you get this shit from. Because I obviously like it. Good God, Cat. You're just out there adding to the freaking problem. You're out there making things crazier than they should have been in the first damn place. We're just out here trying to fucking live our lives and mind ourselves and Cat Voleur.
I'm literally adding to the problem. I have a lot of people who like at conventions or sometimes just online will like reach out to me and they'll be like, is Revenge Arc suitable for my teenager? And I'll be like, that is a conversation you have to have with your teenager. Like it's way tamer than the stuff I was reading when I was a teenager, but it touches on topics that like I know that, a lot of parents are gonna not want their kids reading. So
dark. It gets dark, woman.
I immediately tap out. I'm like, I can't decide that for you. Yeah, I will sometimes. I have like a folder with like the most graphic pages of the book where I'll just send them the pages when they ask, and I'll be like, this is as bad as it gets. Decide for yourself. Like I'm not a parent. Figure it out.
All right, Doug, what's the one paragraph or so you've written where you went, God damn, I shouldn't have wrote that.
Probably a guy thinking about killing himself. I wrote it and I deleted it, and then I hit the reverse button and pulled it back. And I was thinking, I was thinking, do I put this in the book? Is it really necessary? Is it kind of too fucked up? Like, does someone want to read this? What if it does trigger someone? Like, it would trigger. What if someone's reading this and think, oh shit, because they're going through, or they just got through a bad spot and now they're reading it and it's, it's making them. I didn't want to like be the cause of someone going like a day of depression that day or something. Like, it was a tough
basically
choice.
a grief horror.
Man,
Yeah.
it's hard, this writing thing. That's something nobody understands. Writing is fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to tell your story, but at the same time, you're not trying to fuck nobody up.
Yeah.
As long as you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, but people have to understand that horror is normally a category that's kind of gonna screw with your head. It just will. That's the nature of the horror genre.
Mhm.
Yep. And that's why I ask you, Miss Cat, is there anything, any topic you will not touch?
No. People don't think of me as
So
an
you'll kill
extreme.
the dog. You'll kill the damn dog, won't you?
Well, I haven't yet. It's a trope that I don't think is super beneficial, but at least to me in the stories that I want to tell. But the thing about it is people don't think of me as like an extreme horror writer. And it's interesting at conventions when people that obviously want something a little bit darker, are like, do you do extreme horror? Because revenge art, because it is epistolary, a lot of the horror happens like off screen, it happens off page, you're not seeing it.
Yep.
And but I dove into the deep end, like in terms of topics and stuff. And as I'm like planning stuff out that I want to do in the future, I'm sure there are probably things that are more demented than I could think up, that I might not ever get around to covering. But I have yet to see a topic somewhere else where it's like, I don't think I would ever write about that. Like, usually I'm already jotting down ideas. It's like, okay, well, here's how I could make that internet phenomenon. Or here's how I can like make this some journal entries, or and that is kind of how I approach like horror genres now. Now that I'm in the genre, it's like, what could I add something interesting to this very taboo topic?
Well, first off, dude, that's how you approach this fucking genre. Second, Robin, as a person who has a group that is book related, what are the kind of things you would like to see in horror that you don't see right now?
Get my pen ready.
Um, I can't say that there's much that I haven't seen. I've just gotten into the Gothic horror or the revenge horror of, that kind of thing with like Marla York and body parts and sex and stuff like that. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind a couple more strong-willed women, throwing their guy in a vat of acid or
hey.
as long as the dog survives, just Joker him, in the vat.
I just over here minding my business. Thought it'd be a good idea to go talk to fucking Robin for a minute. Next thing I know,
Yeah, right.
getting freaking dunked me and Angel. We just over here just screaming. The fuck just happened here? All right, okay, you're officially blocked for the rest of the show. So go over there.
Okay.
Damn. Wow. All right, Scottish guy. How would you handle, writing out what you think about people in general?
People in general?
No, yeah. I'm having fun
Right.
with it. I'm gonna have fun with this one.
Probably just
Right
chat
here.
GPT.
Bullshit. Come on, Scottish guy.
I just chat GPT, or I just describe how
Now
absolutely
you can't
terrible
be
the world
cheating
is.
with
and
no
people
damn
in them.
AI.
I'm joking. No, I'd say 75% of people are scum. So just take a look at what's going on in the world, and that answers the question for itself. Like, I mean, world's a shithole. If that Atlas thing hits us and wipes us out, then it's probably a good thing.
All right.
Hey guys, I gotta get going, so I'm gonna have to leave you guys.
All right. Well,
Gotta get
hang on. Before we go, bounce off of him. What do you think we can do to fix that to where Doug don't feel that way?
What happened?
Yeah. What can we do to make Doug not feel that way?
Fix humanity real quick before you go,
Yeah,
please.
I mean, basically fix it. I mean, that's up to us. We gotta fix humanity. That's it. It's that's really the simplest answer I can give you.
Yeah.
Angel,
Because-
you are an angel. You're named right, you fucker. Go do what you gotta do, asshole.
Yeah, I gotta. All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
Peace
Thanks
out.
for having me.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too. Bye bye.
All right, now that the ding dong is gone. All right, let's keep the show rolling. We're gonna keep it right. What book do you want to have sold over all the rest?
I keep coming back to it, but it's like I do really want people to read Revenge Arc because I want there to be more books like this. I want there to be more opportunities for people who are writing just like weird, unhinged stuff that's impossible to format. And I think the better that it does and the better that the press does, the more attention I can get onto the people doing the really creative part, the more opportunities there will be for writer. Because like when I was like trying to choose a project to do for that challenge, it was like, I don't even know if it's worth my time to write this because I don't like who would pick it up, who would do it, And a lot of people were like, the one example that a lot of people came to me with, they're like, well, what about House of Leaves? And it's like, okay, well, what about House of Leaves? Like, not everybody can do House of Leaves, and I don't know, like that's the one. And I think a good example of this, I have very little sales margin on Revenge Arc. They're expensive to print, they're expensive to ship. I have to cart them out all over the country so people can see the inside of the book before they buy it. And it's still the one that I sell the most of, like, because when I get asked that question, it's always the one I show off.
All right, well, Robin, let me ask you this. Now, we're gonna. In fact, let's go over here to the side. Y'all don't listen. Shh. We're not paying attention to you right now. What would you like to see her write on a, I don't know, full-on cryptid level? Maybe Bigfoot, or I don't know, maybe
I
skinwalkers.
like changelings and stuff. I don't know. I'm really into the North American indigenous or the Fae over in the pond by you, sir. And because they just have such good creatures. I mean, here you got Bigfoot, you got
Wendigo.
Yeah. But like if you really research the old fashioned lores and mythology, you can find some creepy ass monsters.
For the record, your setup has you looking like you have horns.
They don't have to have horns, just no, because there's so many like it
He said
that
I
I
can't
researched
unsee it now.
like Yule, the old-fashioned Yule. 13 witches. They have 13 witches. They got an evil cat, Jack, just for you. They got a spider, which is a good spider though. There's just, it's overflowing from across the pond of all these different mythology from Irish, Nordic, and stuff like that. I'd like to see that portrayed more than just, keep hitting the Bigfoot and the Wendigo and the oh, that other dude,
Mothman and
Yeah,
Jersey
that's it.
Devil and all them.
Yeah, I'd like to see more on the other side that we don't hear about, that nobody thinks to research and find.
So, Miss Cat,
Yes.
we as fans are telling you, Miss Writer, what we would like to read about. Do you have any plans on giving us that?
It depends. It depends on how the pipeline goes, I guess. I do already my next cryptid creature thing, that comes out probably is going to be about the Loveland Frogman because that one is already. It's not like edited, but I've got the notes compiled for that one. I am also a big sucker for Mothman. I cross through Point Pleasant like every time I go to a convention. But no, I like the Irish mythology really intrigues me. I do have some like unconventional face stuff in the works, and I actually I never know what I'm allowed to say when I'm like working on projects behind the scenes with people. I'm so used to spoiling my own projects that it's like I do have a research intensive creature based project that will be out sometime that I am co-authoring with someone, and it has been a lot of fun. I've gotten to pull out some knowledge about some Irish creatures. I have gotten to inflict some French creatures upon my writing partner, and that's always fun. But I would be very interested if there's a market for it. I could see myself going more that way because I I like the folklore aspect of the
And
different cryptids.
you could be at the Bigfoot convention there that they have in Townsend, Tennessee, with a table, making lots of money.
Okay.
Just saying, putting it out there, putting it out there. But man,
When we get off the podcast, I'm gonna ask you for like links to apply to that because
Oh, yeah,
it's a thing that
you're-
I've wanted to go to.
I can get you those. I mean, dude, there's 30,000 plus people that come through that damn thing. It's ridiculous. As long as we don't have high winds. That was fun. But anywho, I want to ask you now, who is right now, as we sit here, the author you would recommend? Not your favorite author, the one you would recommend right now.
Okay, how widely? Because
All
because
wide,
to
all the wide.
okay, you know, I I feel like what we've been talking about cryptids and stuff, but I feel like a very versatile author that I would love to see more people reading would be Laurel Hightower. She actually wrote one of my favorite cryptid books, but she also does a lot of grief horror and like she's so talented. She's so insanely talented. Um yeah, and
Laura Hightower. Okay.
Laurel Hightower.
Now, is she on Audible?
I believe so. I
Oh.
d- as a reader, I don't use Audible a lot, so I always have a tough time answering that
Yeah,
question.
see, as a blind guy, I don't read as much as I used to. But oh God, if you're on Audible, I'm chasing you down. So
I'll check for you to.
let's find out about that one, because man, holy crap, I'd be down with that. Now, let me ask you this: as you've been writing, you've been doing stuff, putting stories down. You've obviously experienced the whole imposter syndrome thing. That's like out there. How do you fight that off?
So I had a piece of advice that like one of my I actually have a message saved from one of my friends, and he and I, like, we weren't real close at the time. We'd been working together, we'd been like colleagues, and he asked me, he checked in on me at my first con, and he was like, "How are you doing?" And I was like, "I should not be here. Imposter syndrome has never been this strong. They've got me around the corner from Grady Hendrix, and I'm like, I'm scared out of my fucking mind." And he was like, "I want you to know something. I have 2 books on my bookshelf right now, and they are yours and they are Grady Hendrix's." So, like, go do the thing. And it's like, it's kind of a dumb thing, but like, I think looking back at the moments of like the most encouraging like pieces of like all of the little things that people have told me over the years, like, I think a lot of people who aren't in the creative industry don't realize how much something like that can mean, but those are always the moments that I had an editor once who was like, "I really don't like to compare works to other authors' works, but the way that you set up the story really reminded me of Edgar Allan Poe." And I was like, "That's the most insane thing anyone's ever told me." And I think about that like at least once a day still to this day, 4 years later. And you kind of have to look back at the good moments. And if you can, and not everyone is in a position where they can do this, but if you can look back and at the moments where like you've impacted someone's lives with your words, like, it doesn't really matter how often it happens. That's such a special thing to kind of hang on to. And I always try to look back at those moments and be like, it, even if I am an imposter, it's worth being an imposter for like the next few days. And that's kind of how you have to take it, is just a few days at a time, like one project at a time.
And that's what I think a lot of new writers need to hear. They need
Yeah.
to hear that, because I mean, when I got started writing, I didn't start writing because I wanted to write. I got started writing because I had assholes that are already writing, that were successful authors, that just want to bug the crap out of me because I was doing a podcast interviewing them. Like, "Why ain't you wrote a book yet? Then they're on short story. Just give me that crap." And so I tried to write something, and I tried to write it so bad, so terrible, that they would leave me the hell alone. Instead, what I got was, "Oh, hey, you're writing staccato. You need to add some more color here. Hey, this part right here is really good, but man, do this instead." Fuck. That's what happened. That's why I wound up producing a damn short story, and now I have 2 short stories and a fucking novella, both produced out there. By the way, you find them on Amazon. Just search my name. But the experience of going through writing is not easy. It's just not. So for you, have you had any parts where you literally went, "I quit," and then you fired back up again?
Yeah. I have that a lot. There
Okay.
are a lot of
Okay.
mornings where I quit. I think the one time I seriously came the closest to quitting was with my second book, and we had been like, everything had been a dream with it. My editor was great. The cover art is so pretty. I had an easy time writing the synopsis. Everything's going just like great. And we got our first order in from Ingram, and they had screwed up the cover. Like, it had been printed off center, and I got that first box of like 30 books, and none of them were right. Some of them didn't have my name on them, and I just like, I cried so hard, and I was like, I can't do this. I don't, because then it wasn't just that it had come in bad for me. It was like I then had to, because a press had sent me the books like straight from Ingram. So then it's like I have to break this bad news to my editor that we have to spend a bunch more money on a bunch more books. And I'm not in this industry to, break bad news to people, and I don't want to deal with the printing and the shipping. And I really did. That was like the worst day. And I went to bed thinking like, I'm done. Like, this is the last book that I'm gonna send anywhere, because I'm so bad at the logistical stuff, even when it goes right, and when it goes wrong, it breaks me. And I woke up and I like queried my book, and I sent my editor the news, and we got it done. We got it taken care of, and it wasn't that bad, but it felt bad, like.
I know. Has that ever happened to you?
Not that extreme where all my shit's been fucked up, but it happens where I think about quitting constantly all the time, man. It's just, but it goes back to the imposter syndrome too. Like, you think, why am I doing this? And you think it's going to go away, and it doesn't. You kind of know it's coming, and you hope it's not as bad, and it's just the same every time. Like today I'm happy, but I know next Friday I'm going to be shitting my pants. I'm having my book somewhere. I'm like, what am I, do I want to do this? Do I want to spend my weekend sitting at a table talking to people? And it's like, this is the last time I'm going to do this because I don't think I can keep doing it. Like, that kind of stuff, it does go through your head all the time. And you do have those ups and downs where you're kind of proud of yourself and you're happy, and then you start doubting yourself and you don't want to do it kind of anymore. Or if you've got like 20,000 ideas and you try to finish your story and you can't get it done because all these are ideas and they're not fitting your story, and you're thinking, this is just too much. It's overwhelming.
Fucking mind blowing. All
Yep.
up in your head and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
This is why I hang out with these fucking assholes from across the pond. The Dougs, the fucking god dang Nicks, all of them hanging out.
Ryan. I keep pestering Ryan to do a book with me, but he's always too busy.
But it's because it inspires idiots like me, idiots like you, idiots like all of us to keep writing, to put this shit together, to go through all this nonsense. Literally, I sneezed right there on this freaking page this morning as I was trying to write out goofy fucking a question to ask you, and I wound up sneezing on the fucking page.
You only wrote like 4 questions, mate. Like, what happened there?
That's as far as I got before I sneezed on the fucking page.
And then fell asleep. I was left everyone else to.
And then I went to sleep because I was tired, because by God, I work. It's what I do. And then I take my weekends and I do this. So, but I'm going to ask you this, and it's going to be a hard question. It's going to be a question you're probably going to question. But if your writing really did hit, I'm talking hit, like fucking bestseller, what would you do?
I would keep writing. I know that's kind of a cheesy answer, but like I've had multiple careers. I've had a few that I've arguably liked better than writing. I think every career I've had has paid more than writing, and some of them were more fun. But I did realize at some point, the last career that I had before I started like going full time into writing, I played Dungeons and Dragons professionally, which I did not know was a job when I got it, and I was like, this is actually my dream job. I don't know why anybody would ever fucking walk away from the like, I could do this for the rest of my life. I'm making good money. I'm having a blast. I did have to take a sabbatical from it because I was like on death's door sick, and to be able to play, you play Dungeons and Dragons 6 hours a day and your voice gets torn up to shit anyway, but like being sick on top of it, it's like I had no voice left. I had to take a sabbatical from this. But like even before that, it was like I was spending all of my free time writing books still. Like that was still the thing that got me up in the morning. And it's like I think if the books make it really big and I never had to work,
what
I
time
would
did
do it.
you wake up in the morning?
What time did I wake up I did not wake up in the morning. I played Dungeons and Dragons until 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Wow.
And then I had like 2 hours worth of admin to go. I saw the sunrise more often. I saw like I was going to bed after sunrise, and then I was getting up usually around like 5 or 6 p.m. and like getting sessions prepped for the next night. Like it was intense. I ran, and I was the dungeon master, so it's like I had to keep a bunch of stuff straight, and like I ran I think the highest I ever ran in a single week was like 13 sessions a week, but it's still like that's an ungodly amount of Dungeons and Dragons to be playing.
Okay, first off, my pair of freaking knuckleheads with me. What are y'all thoughts on this? Go first, because I gotta go pee. I'll be back.
Falls asleep, misses the beginning, and now he has.
Hey.
Oops.
You heard that though.
Oh my. How about you, Doug? What do you think? If you would make it big, hit it, boom. What would you do? Anything different?
Yeah, I'd probably move somewhere hot. I would probably still write as well. I'd get a nice little office in a nice little hot place. I don't know, just isolate myself, not have to deal with people. Have stuff sent house, like it was like locked in all over again, but just in my house where the whole world's going on. Now I just don't like people. That's just me. I'm just not a people person, even though I fucking deal with them every single day. I run a gym, so I have to deal with people constantly, even though I don't like them. But yeah, I'd probably still write. It's weird that, huh? Because it's just something you still. It's like ingrained. It's like something you still go back to and do, even if you don't have to. You still do it.
Forever. Yeah. That really is, that's how it's, it's what you do. It's just like, writing was never a career that I like sought after. I fought it, but it's like I'm going to be writing these stories forever because it's what I like to do. And even though like when I was a kid, I feel like I had a lot more sense, right? Where it was like I wanted to go into medicine, I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be like I have money and be able to like take vacations occasionally and stuff. But it's like I just all through school, all my teachers and, my family and everything is like, she's gonna be a writer when she grows up. And I was like, no, I was like on course for pre-med when I got my first writing job. And then it was like, oh, I guess I am gonna be a writer. Like, cause it's just, you wake up and it's like the thing that you want to be doing,
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I tell you what. Maybe it's a jealous thing. It's a all about me thing. But honestly, I'm glad that you became a writer because, honestly, this right here, this is what the world needs. This kind of imagination, this kind of difference, to do things the way you're doing it, to write the way you're writing. The world needs this and it needs to continue. You need to keep doing this. You need to start a whole brand new series with me and her and him and just do a whole new thing and kill us all off so gloriously. You are doing what the world needs. You need to keep writing because we're not here without our writers. I mean, Dean Koontz is my guy. I'm not a Stephen King guy. He's okay, whatever. I'm a Dean Koontz guy. We need more writers. We need more people putting out ideas and thoughts and imagination and just outright, what the fuck was that? We need more of that. We need it. We crave it.
We kind of need more readers too, and I think nowadays the only way to get that is by changing up like the format of that book. Like as soon as you show me, like I say, I know I can come back to it, but as soon as you flick through it, it caught my attention, and it's a different type of book. And I think it needs new type of books need to be developed to get these younger people into reading and back to it rather than sitting on fucking TikTok and YouTube.
Yep.
Because I don't see many young people coming up to my table to get books. It's always 18 old or older. I know people have tablets and they have Kindles that can do it that way, but I think changing up like the other book you had, looked like it was all text messages. I could see that appealing to younger people like that. It's a different format, it's a different type of book. And I think more development like that needs to happen.
I always try, like one of my proudest moments actually happened just recently. I had a friend that came up to me and gave me a copy of his book that he had written and that he had formatted himself. I did his first formatting and I like really pushed him into taking like into doing the text message bubbles and stuff. And he was like, I don't know about this. I like it's gonna take longer and it's gonna cost more. And I was like, let me do this for you because it's gonna be worth it. And now he's like gone in to do more like text message formatting and he's learning how to format himself and that was really cool to see. And but I loved seeing those text message bubbles pop up because it's like that is a thing that does catch younger readers, I think. And like I love seeing other people do weird stuff.
Hey, sticking on weird stuff. Oh my God, she just got naked for us. I'm just pointing that out. I'm, just saying. But oh my God, what has been the thing? The thing, the who, the whatever. What has been your most like, oh my God moment since you've been doing this?
Oh man. It's still there are a lot of them. Recently, every day doing this is kind of a blessing, even on the days when it is very cursed, like because there are always just these little bits of magic. I recently
Yes.
had Candace Nola
Oh
said that she would
yes.
love to work with me on something. She was like, she gave me the uh like full next 5 years submission window times and was like, if you want to submit something to Uncomfortably Dark, like we would love to look at it. And it's like,
And she's
I,
such a hugger.
I
God, she's
know
such a hugger.
she is.
She's
And it was so funny because it's like, I didn't know that Candace Nola like really knew who I was. And then
I
for her to be
I had
like,
that with Nick. Ugh.
those are the kinds of moments, and it's hard to be like, this one moment is the best because I am very lucky. It's the thing that does keep me going is that I get to have a lot of these little moments with like people in my community that I really look up to, and suddenly they like know who I am. And Judith Sonnet is
Yeah.
like letting me format her books now, and that's so special that I get to do that. She never lets me do text bubbles, but other than that, it's so special that she lets me do that.
Why the hell? Okay, no, that's a question that's got to be asked. Why are you not allowed to do text bubbles for Judith?
No, she just doesn't write stuff that requires text bubbles. And I say this with so like Judith is a one woman powerhouse of a writer. Like she's pumping out quality stuff just about every day. There's like, and she does the marketing, she does the cons, is so prolific. But I will say, as someone that works on her team, I'll be like, hey, I have a cool idea for a thing, and she's like, yeah, great, except for it's coming out in like a week, and I'm like, oh, what? And she's like, yeah, I want to have this out before I have like my next novel coming out, which is going to be at the end of the month, and it's like, how do you sleep? Like, how do you get anything else
When you
done?
get any rest?
She and she's so fun. She's one of my favorite clients to work for because if I have an idea that I know I can get done in her deadline, she never turns me down. She's like, "Let's see what you've got. Like, let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's go big." But I do always have that time constriction, right? Where it's like she's always working on the next thing. I've got to be able to like put down everything else I'm working on to make sure I can get the cool stuff done in time.
Damn. I Little Miss Robin, how do you handle authors that are firing you brand new stuff all the time? I mean, what do you do?
well, I have a calendar and that's exactly it. And I do bump a few people up, you know, in line whenever they come, just like you were saying with Claire. Um, just because I know that, it's going to be fun and it's going to be enjoyable and it's not going to like drag me down like some of the other stuff that I read or, beta read or alpha read. But oh my golly, yeah, it's rough. I put out there like no romance, or I turn off my form so that nobody, and that doesn't stop them. They just, oh, that's her email. I'll just email her direct. So then, then you got 10 books and, the book club, and then you got, and then, somebody else is like, well, I'm going to be, you have 2 weeks. And then if you find a mistake, then it's going to be too late. And that's my problem. That's what I do. I keep it organized as much as I can. And I have a hard time saying no to people, which is kind of bad.
I will say that is a problem you have, saying
Yes.
no.
That's
for God's sake, you're doing a podcast with me.
Yeah, I look at indie authors and I just want to help, any way I can. And there are just some that are, a lot easier to please than others.
So now, Kat, have you run across any authors that have kind of hit that way? Like, where you're just like, I want to help you, but fuck you at the same time?
It happens sometimes where you're like, and it's hard with formatting because formatting, when you're not doing crazy stuff, it's kind of a subtle art, right? Where you work in it a long time, you learn the ins and outs and what's, conventionally acceptable for a book and stuff. And sometimes you meet these people who are like, I know exactly what I want. I know how I want it to look. And that vision doesn't make a lot of sense to me as the formatter. And it's like, well, and what I always do is it's like, here is how I would do it, like for the test thing. And if you want any changes, please let me know. And like, we'll figure it out. Or like if they come to me and they know exactly what they want and it looks a little bit silly, I'll give them like 2 versions and I'll be like, here's why I like this version. It's easier to read, or it's, whatever the problem is with it, and, but at the end of the day, it's like, I got into this business because the formatting business in particular, because I wanted to do something crazy and out of the box. And I never want to be the reason why someone else doesn't do something crazy out of the box. So it's always like, here's my professional opinion. And if you want it done your way, we'll make it happen. Like, we'll do it your way. Like, this is your passion project. It's your child, like I try to advise, but there's only so much that you can, do from that position without overstepping. I never want to overstep.
All right. Well, here's my thing. What is the definition of overstepping? Because honestly, I am not a good writer. I can write. I can. I know I can. I can do it. Yada yada. But I need help as far as finishing a project or anything that someone would actually want to read. So, how do you be nice while still being honest?
It's a big reason why I very briefly worked as a freelance editor. I did like developmental edits, and I did not like it for that reason, because it's very hard to be like, here are the, especially as a developmental editor, because that's not even copy edits where you can be like, this is grammar, I'm right, look it up. With developmental edits, you have to be like, hey, here are the big problems I found with the book. And it's like, I didn't like doing it. And every now and then I participate, like I have some really great beta readers who never let me pay them. So I always try to pay it forward instead, where it's like, whenever I have a spot open, I'll pick up beta reading or alpha reading or whatever. And it's the part that I struggle with the most, like if I find structural issues, because it's like, I know this is going to take a while to fix, or this is going to be really annoying to look at, or, they think they're done and I'm about to suggest like 20 hours of editing or whatever. And it's like, it's tough. But like in that situation, I do think honesty is best, because And this is and I try to look at it from the other side as well, because it's like with my beta readers and my alpha readers and, you know, everyone who does arcs for me, I try to have like a really solid hype team and then like just a few people who are going to be brutally honest. And I try to like look at when I do alpha reading, it's like, okay, I'm the brutally honest person and somebody is going to offset me. Like they have a hype team if they're coming to me, and you know, hopefully there's a cushion.
This is why I want you, because you said brutally honest.
Yeah.
I want you to read this.
Okay.
This stupid book right here, the one that I wrote. I want
Okay.
you to read it. I want you to tear it apart
Okay.
piece by piece and then come at me and tell me what the fuck I did wrong so I can make it right.
You killed Angel.
Dude, I killed Angel because Angel needed to be killed. I killed him. Damn it. He had to be killed. Punch in the face. Right in the face. Come on now.
I like the little Sasquatch pictures of the chapters. Those are cool.
Yeah. So please read my book, and I'm reading your book, and trust me, I won't put it out there on Amazon. You know what I say, but if I find things that I don't like, you're gonna hear about it. But so far, I'm about halfway through it, and man, I'm loving this. This is fun. I just wish you had a damn narrator. Because I'm all about audiobooks. Reading takes me longer than audiobooks takes. Because I can go through an audiobook like literally in a day or two, depending on the audiobook. Now, if you get a Deneman or one of them, and it takes a couple days, you know, to get through them. But damn, they're so good. And yours, for fuck's sake, this book right here it's got me intrigued to where I keep going back to it. I keep like I'll get home from work, be tired as fuck, absolutely exhausted. Go take a shower, come in here, lay down, put on the TV, you know, get TV on, and I'll go like this. And I go right to the book. And oh fuck, what does flip to? I mean, this is not normal. This is not a normal book by any stretch of the fucking imagination. This is not a normal book. And yet, it's fucking entertaining. And as Jeff always said, this is the world of entertainment. Be entertaining. This is entertaining. So for fuck's sake, ladies and gentlemen, get this book. And I'm starting to think I have kept you here long enough. I have hold you hostage long enough.
You've inflated my ego large enough.
God.
I do really appreciate it, though. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the book. I'm glad that the format is not off-putting to you. That is a comment I get sometimes, but it was worth it just to see people who are excited to see how it came out.
This right here pisses me off because I would love for my Bigfoot book to look like that. Like Bigfoot with text, you know. Could you imagine him texting with the Jersey Devil? Like, hey, I scared the shit out of him today, and yeah, they freaked him out. Bubble. Oh, dude, I was just chasing some people down the street an hour ago. Bubble. Oh my God, that's got fucking be fucking interesting. Bubble. You know, seriously, that would be fucking entertaining to me. And this right here, this fucking book.
Yes.
That's your next project then, Jack. Get on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's your next project. Get on it, man.
Yep.
Well, it was really great talking with everyone. And I'm definitely getting your book, Cat, just so I can rub it in Jack's face.
I'm used to that. You should
Mhm.
rubbed in my damn face. But I
Yeah.
will say this. I have had more fun than I've had in a long damn time doing one of these podcasts. And I've done for a long time. And I thank you for coming on and doing this with us and putting up with my idiocy, you know. And even though I realized that my co-host didn't do their side quests like I asked, booger, just saying. But
Yes.
Cat, you are up and coming. You are the next big thing. You are a proper writer. You are doing this right. And
Mhm.
I am so proud of you. I am beyond fucking proud of you. You keep doing what you're doing. Keep fucking hammering at it. Meanwhile, we're going to keep doing what we do, and that's hyping y'all.
Yep.
That's what we're going to do. And where we going to do it? Here. Why we going to do it? For the shits and fucking giggles. That's why we're going to do it. For everybody at home, for everybody here, I am Jack Childress. I'm a dumbass, and this has been Shitz and Giggles. We will see you next week.